In my work as a pregnancy and postpartum therapist, I help new mums to deal with issues with low mood after having a baby all the time, to help them feel as confident and content as possible in those early stages of motherhood. In this video, I will share with you some of the top strategies and ways that you can support yourself at home if you are dealing with the symptoms of postnatal depression. My name is Sophie Harris and I'm a pregnancy and postpartum psychotherapist and the founder of my company Looking After Mum. I'll be releasing free weekly videos helping you to overcome any issues with anxiety or low mood throughout the pregnancy and postpartum period. Hard to say. So please subscribe below and like this video just to support me, and if you like it, that's even better. And just drop in the comment section if you have any questions relating to pregnancy or postpartum, mental health or emotional well-being, and I will do my absolute best to make a video on those. First tip is to find the things that make you happy and give you a sense of achievement. When we're feeling depressed, it is really easy for those things to go. We stop doing the things that bring us joy and we don't do the things that take effort. Okay, so obviously when we have a baby, we tend to have to devote so much time to that baby, and it is completely understandable why we wouldn't be able to do the other things we enjoy or the things that take effort, anything other than looking after the baby. So how can you fit this in? Let's say if we're thinking about things that we enjoy, maybe you're not going to be able to do everything that you enjoy at the moment, especially in those early postpartum days. But I would bet that there is something that you can do which can just bring you that little bit of happiness. So for example, if I usually love going to the theatre, I don't know, watching plays, reading, writing, whatever it is, then perhaps I'm not going to be able to do all of that at the moment, particularly in those early days, but I could do 15 minutes reading a day. Let's take this tip. If we think, oh, but I don't have any time to read, and it can be really hard to start reading when it's a non-ending task. So perhaps you could just set yourself an alarm or a timer for 15 minutes and read during that period. It would be suggested that you would experience some increase in mood just from doing that short amount, and as time goes on, you'll be able to build that up. The second tip is to challenge your negative thinking and be much kinder to yourself. Often we get caught in these really unhelpful thinking styles and we start really criticising ourselves, thinking, why can't I do this? Why am I the only one who's not coping? What's wrong with me? But in these instances, try to bring compassion to yourselves. Try to talk to yourself like you would do to a friend who is in the same situation, or think how somebody else would speak to you in a loving and kind way. It is so important that we learn to interrupt those patterns of self-criticism to be much kinder to ourselves, and in the longer term it will make us feel a lot better. Third tip is to find ways to regulate your nervous system. So when we become a mum, it often means that our nervous system is working on overdrive. If you imagine, even when my baby is calm and things are going well, I am still using a lot of energy in regulating her. I am picking up on her cues if there is something wrong, or I am ensuring that I time the feeds correctly to ensure that she's okay and to prevent her from feeling upset. This all takes a lot of energy. So let's think of ways that you can regulate your nervous system. Ideally, you could try spending time in nature. You could ensure that you're trying to get outside each day, and if you can't get outside, then at least trying to sit by a window. If you can, avoiding blue lights at night times from our phone. This can obviously be a difficult one because we're up feeding our babies a lot, but perhaps try something like a Kindle where you don't have the blue light coming in the same way. Learning to breathe deeply with our inhale into our belly through our nose and our exhale out through our mouths. All of this will be really helpful. anything like a postpartum massage, ways to bring you back into your body and help relax your nervous system. Let the big emotions flow. This means that sometimes we're taught that we should just be okay all the time, that negative emotions are bad, but it is not the case. Our transition that we're going through deserves space to feel all the tears, the anger, the sadness, as well as those joyful, beautiful moments. When we learn to not suppress our difficult emotions, we're likely to move through them a lot quicker and be able to deal with those and process those so that we're able to move on to something that feels more comfortable for us. Next tip is to connect with other new mums or people who understand. This can be hard sometimes because we may not feel like talking to other people. But sharing, being part of a community, trying to create your own village will all be so helpful in helping you to understand that what you're going through is normal and everyone is struggling in their own ways, even if people don't show it all the time. If you are more of an introverted person, then try and find ways around that you may not enjoy being in big groups, for example. But that is okay. You could try and find friends on, say, for example, Peanut or Bumble or any existing friends that you've got. You might attend a big group, but try to find a way to meet up with somebody who you get on with on a smaller level, on a more close-knit level. I can't think of the words. But try to find the people who will make you feel good about yourself. Those who you can have those honest and vulnerable conversations of motherhood that we all need. Next tip is to let go of perfectionism. So in my work as a therapist, I find that perfectionism is underlying the majority of anxiety and low mood problems as a new mum. If we have these relentlessly high standards through life, and then as a new mum, inevitably you can't meet those standards, it could often make you feel really down on yourself. So maybe for a while your relationships aren't as great as they would be at other times, or you aren't able to keep your house to as high a standard, or you're not getting that same sense of achievement that you would have done at work. But this is all just a chapter and you will gain these things again. If you can find any ways to cut corners or to just make things easier for yourself, then please do it. The next tip is to try and eat healthy foods wherever possible. This can be really difficult to do as a new mum, especially with time constraints, etc. But if you can find easy meals that don't take a long time to make, but that help to nourish your body, we know that what we eat has such an impact on our mood, and it is our gut and our brain is completely linked, sending messages to each other all of the time. So if we can find food which support our gut and support our overall well-being, then we will notice a big difference in our mood as well. And last tip is to just remember that this is just a chapter. This might feel a bit annoying to hear me say because I know that you're in the thick of it right now, but I believe that when we have babies and we are the mother of a young baby, we often really get this logic that we're the only one who's struggling, or that this will never end, I'll never feel better. But I can say from personal experience and from that of so many of my clients that you can and are highly likely to feel better again in the future. All of this is just a chapter and you will be able to get through it. If you are looking for some support around helping you deal with postnatal depression, then you can check my website for details of therapy, of working together on a one-to-one basis, and you can email me to see if I have availability at the moment. If I have, I would be very happy to arrange a one-to-one consultation with you to discuss possible therapy together. And also, I will be creating more videos around this topic, So please put in the comment section any questions that you have, and I will be very happy to make a video on that for you. Whilst my channel's still nice and small, I know that I can respond to individual comments, and I'm really happy about this. So feel free, ask anything you want, or let me know your experiences. Okay, nice to see you, and goodbye.